What is your biggest secret? I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm only going through the motions so I don't disappoint my parents and girlfriend. When I was 15, I snuck out in my mom's van to see a girl for sexy times and sideswiped another car while driving. Hightailed it out of there and went home and parked the van, backing it into the space. Got a hammer and walked up the road about a mile. Smashed a car's tail light to get broken glass. And took it back and strategically tossed it near the new crime scene. Mom woke up, saw the damage and called the police. Hit and run was their verdict. Probably the crazy neighbors across the street, they said. My mom kept a lookout for a wrecked car coming to visit them for almost a year. People think I'm a happy guy. I actually hate everything about myself. Ugh. This is me right now. People say that I am a funny guy who always has a smile on his face. I am very self-conscious. It takes me a long time of being friends with somebody before I am sure they aren't friendly to my face and trashing me behind my back. I'm making jokes because maybe when they're laughing at something I said they aren't thinking negatively of me. My mom paid $68,000 college education in hopes that I'd find a good job after college. I graduated in December and have lied to her ever since, saying I've been looking and interviewing for jobs. Instead, I made a website and have been spending my time drawing customized big dig art for people. Edit, for the sake of my inbox. The site is itidica.com. Thank you all for your support in my wet dreams. If I wasn't so worried about hurting someone else, I'd drive into oncoming traffic tonight. Please don't. I don't know you, but it would still be a loss to the world. That's the blessing and the curse of it all. I want to so badly, but I know I'd never work up the nerve to do it. I work hard and have been promoted twice. People think I am a good worker and love my job. But the truth is I would quit in a heartbeat if I had enough money to survive. I hate my job and I hate working in general. I work hard out of paranoia and constant fear of losing my job. My goal in life is not to work my life away and I am failing. I'm a raging alcoholic. I've given up all other drugs, but I can't seem to give up booze. I'm drunk right now and it's not even 3 PM on a Tuesday. I've been really good at hiding it, but I think my fiancé is starting to get suspicious. Dude, go to AA. I know it's scary, but if your fiancé is important to you, do it for her. I really need to. But I'm a little scared to go to the first one. I have some massive social anxiety and I don't really know how to talk to people. Plus I don't really know what meeting is the one to go to. The website for my city district is kind of confusing. I don't want my lushas to show up at like a women's only meeting or something. Both my girlfriend and I are gay. We're about to open our relationship up because after 4 years of dating and joking about my homosexuality and her lesbianism, we're only now becoming honest enough with ourselves to talk about it. I'm terrified of losing her because I've never loved anyone like I love her. But neither of us are happy with our sex life. When I was 16 I got into a relationship with a 39-year-old who thought I was 18. He was heavily depressed so he wasn't working. He was just sort of surviving. And we'd spend nights together. At the time I didn't think it'd affect me in any negative way, but it did. It was ducked up. He told me if he ever healed himself it wasn't my fault. He was just too sad. We had great discussions though. We'd talk about life and big questions. He was more of a dad to me. With 6. After a year I just blocked him on everything and never heard of him again. I'm not sure how I feel about it now. I lost my virginity to him. But I can't tell that to people. No one will ever know. My family thinks I got a second internship when I actually quit it on the second day. I have been going to a fake internship for several months now. Where are you actually going during this time? Going places. Hiking. Shopping. Eating. Meeting friends. I always eat the orange peel and throw away the rest of the orange. Sounds like you need to go to how to eat an orange class. Throwaway account here. Well, to start this off, I'm a guy. My sister was getting married and I was one of the groomsmen. I went to the bachelor party with my soon-to-be brother-in-law and got so drunk that I ended up crashing at his place. He and I were pretty good friends and he knew I was gay and was always playfully teasing and borderline flirting. I didn't really think much of it because some guys, regardless of sexuality, do that for attention. Anyways, I was laying on the couch watching TV trying to fall asleep and he comes in and sits on the other end of the couch and puts my feet in his lap. We were talking and he just starts rubbing my leg. Well, long story short, I slept with my brother-in-law the day before he married my sister. I've regretted it every single day since then, but it's just one of those secrets I'm gonna have to take with me to the grave. People will call me crazy or insane since I'm only 21 and look like I should be going out a lot more. I just feel too old to go to raves, concerts, dating, etc. I just want to sit back and enjoy the silence instead of going out. I am the same. I'm 22/female outgoing but don't enjoy what people our age are enjoying. I enjoy the quiet things in life. Whether that be a deep conversation with a stranger at the airport, hiding with a book in Barnes & Noble, standing in the ocean water and wondering if I'm truly happy with where I'm at. I'm in love with a married woman. My best friend, female, and I, male, believe strongly that but for a single choice in high school, and a bunch of other choices in college, we would be happily married. But those choices went against us. And now we're just best friends married to other people. When we're together it is just like someone shook up a champagne bottle and is slowly easing the cork out. It's hard. Throw away. But I cheated in all of my college finals. I figured out if you are careful and confident enough you can have a smartphone on your lap. Once the screen has the brightness on low it is pretty easy to look through without being noticed. I had exam invigilator walk by me all the time and not notice. Had a smartphone and would load it up with pre-answered questions and all the lecture notes. I got a 4.0 GPA. I've a technical degree and have been hired into the highest department of the biggest company in my area of study. I don't even regret it. I studied enough to understand the coursework but I always sucked at remembering lots of information. It landed me my dream job and I've really excelled in the role. I'm about to be evicted and I haven't told my family because they all are struggling themselves. Oh god. I was in foreclosure. And the sheriff's sale for my house was 2 days away. I saved up some of my meds and was planning on telling my mom and asking her to take care of my cats. I just couldn't tell her till it was almost too late. We didn't have the money to stop it. Our family business was in the toilet. My mom was in debt. I wasn't able to get any help on the foreclosure. I was so ready to be done because I couldn't handle the shame of it. But once I told my mom, she wouldn't let me do it. She helped me through. I filed bankruptcy. Lost the house anyways but coming clean just lifted so much off my chest. I was living under this cloud of losing my house and not letting anyone know. I'm moving in with my friends who could really use the help with their rent and it's okay. It's not great. Losing your house is never great. But it's okay. You'll be okay. Tell someone. I have a good life. I served in Iraq so I have the veteran thing going for me. I recently transferred to a new school with a 3.82 GPA and I'm receiving an ample scholarship. I make very good money and soon will be starting my first business at 26 years old. My secret? I'm a junkie. Edit. Thanks for all the support and replies guys. You know for all the shit Reddit gets we can actually be a very empathetic and kind bunch sometimes. Plotted a murder for many years. Everything was perfect. Had thought it out and accounted for many situations. Estimated the number of people I'd have to kill who would get in my way. etc. Of course. Killing myself afterwards. Thank God for magic mushrooms. That other me is dead forever. In the words of Andrew Kehoe, criminals are made, not born. Some of my friends know how I truly am but most people in my life think I'm a cutesy innocent sweet girly girl. And maybe I am. But what I keep pretty hidden is my sexual practices. Especially the BDSM kind. According to a few strangers I look like a super religious naive girl. But really I'm an atheist who regularly gets tied up and rims my BF. Gets ducked in the ass. And deep throats a big dig so deep and hard that my throat gets sore. So here's my secret. I am married with 2 children. My husband is away for work often. Right after I had our second child. My husband left for 2 weeks. I hadn't had any alcohol since finding out I was pregnant with our second child. After putting my children down. My oldest in his bed and the baby in his coliper. It was a small crib that lays on the bed with the parents. I decided why not have a drink of wine. Well, I had 2 glasses and was feeling tipsy but not drunk. So I went to bed around 12 AM. Around 2 I woke up and went to the bathroom. When I came back I noticed my bed was empty. No crib, no baby. I panicked. I went to the end of the bed and my baby was on the floor. Underneath the overturned crib. I flipped the crib over and he was grey. I immediately began CPR and called 911. But all the while I'm thinking, how did this happen? Then I realized while I had been sleeping I must have somehow pushed him off. As the police and ambulance arrived he started to stir. We were driven to the nearest children's hospital. They asked me what happened and I lied. I said I woke up and he wasn't breathing. They didn't buy it at first, but after finding he was having seizures and his raisin test came back negative for broken bones and signs of abuse, they diagnosed him with apnea. He's now a 10-month healthy boy, but no one, not even my husband, knows what really happened. Everyone thinks I saved his life because I did CPR. I will never tell anyone. I roll. I don't drink anymore ever and I fear I will one day receive my due karma. And the guilt eats at me every day. I'm actually gay. But a lot of people assume that I'm straight, just based on how I act and my appearance. My mom still denies the fact that I am, and I've had a lot of resentment towards her for not wanting me to be who I am. My parents think I'm Christian. But I stopped believing a few years ago. They wouldn't hate me if they knew. But would just be sad and felt they failed in what they believe. I love my parents too much to do that to them. EE savings bonds. I have bunches of EE savings bonds in my bank safe deposit box that were given to me from the time I was born by both sets of grandparents, aunts and uncles. For every special occasion in my life, birthdays, Christmas, Easter, graduations, etc. They've been in there for years. Collecting interest. Tax deferred. The face value on each is $100, but I have no idea what they are really worth now. With compounded interest over time. It's like a fun secret from the past that they gave me. And I just let them sleep in the bank vault. Untouched. I love my wife with everything in me, but I'm beginning to resent her. We have 3 children and she is a stay-at-home mother who refuses to work. This leaves all the bills and financial struggles on me. She has no idea how tight our budget is due to her lack of understanding of the value of a dollar. I have talked to her about it. My mom handed her a job which she lost due to attendance because she doesn't want to work. Seriously consider putting a gum in my mouth, but the only thing stopping me is my children. The things me and my girlfriend do in the bedroom. Sounding and pegging. Definitely wouldn't want my friends and family knowing. Alright. I'll bite. He has her stick a smooth metal rod up his urethra. Have to be careful not to burst any of the fragile piping either or rupture anything. As I don't imagine pissing out pure blood is particularly pleasant. That absolutely nothing gives me joy in this world anymore. I am in a crippling depression whirlpool that I have no motivation to swim out of. I simply act normal around people so I do not have to talk about it. And the only concept that has kept me on this earth a quarter century is pure curiosity of if it will ever change. I take plenty of drugas to numb myself. Although nothing like meth or H, because somehow even I have that much respect for myself. I come from an absolutely chaotic childhood and nothing can really make me get excited anymore. I'm a good looking guy and have had beautiful women come and go, and their love was the closest thing to anything warm my entire life. Everyone loves me and apparently everyone likes me for me. But if I were to ever say any of this to anyone, it would completely blow their mind. I also have Tourette's. So yay. My family are parasites. Simply dreadful people. They are emotionally and physically abusive to me exclusively. They stole my money and spent it on luxuries for themselves. I was blamed and victimized for any tiny thing. So when my grandmother died, who was the one good person among them, she left me an enormous amount of money that none of them knew and know about. I have no idea how much there is in total. I'm getting yearly installments of £25,000 until I turn 25. And then I get all that remains in a single lump. God only knows how much there is in total. But I've gotten £125,000 so far. I'm 21, and there is no ducking way those awful people are ever hearing about it. I'm 24. Have Parkinson's. And the only people that know are my mother, doctor, and therapist. None of my friends or family know. And it's getting worse every year. I think I was sexually abused when I was 8. I remember I was at my aunt's house. And my cousin and his friend came home from the bar. His friend got into bed with me. I remember my aunt walked in and there was a lot of screaming. She always made me sleep in her room when I stayed over after that. She died when I was 13. So I will never know what really happened.